Hey guys, I made it. Haven't had my newborn yet. So today's Friday. We got Gage here. Right now we got the 858 on the lift and we're setting it all up to be able to hook it up to the dyno. We're going to prove the theory, whether it gains 10 horsepower after break-in. And then we're gonna be doing a clutch kit shootout with you guys with some of the big guys in the industry. So first things first, I'd like to thank the guys from SSI. They sent me out an entire clutch kit for the 858, and it's gonna be one of the things that we're going to be testing. So when it comes to SSI, we have their logos here. They're originally a machine shop called Black Diamond Extremes. SSI, same exact company. So within their kit is a full, I guess what you would call a stage 4 kit. It's going to come with a secondary spring, looks like a primary spring. They have a helix included, and then it comes with adjustable weights that you can add magnets in. Their kits come with full install instructions on how many magnets should be installed and where they should be installed on the weights. So excited for this. The next clutch that sent us was Roger from Heel Clicker Clutch Systems. This is their logo here. Roger, it's a dual quadrant weight setup where the heel controls the out of the gate to mid-range power, and the lever itself controls the mid-range to high power. And you can adjust both without affecting the other. So he's got a very unique weight that we're going to be testing here. His kit comes with full install instructions as well. It comes with a primary spring, and it comes with his unique adjustable weights. So when I say dual quadrant, I mean it physically has two different quadrants. So you have your lever to add weights to, and you actually have a wing coming off for the heel. So this is what's going to affect your, out of the hole to mid-range, and this would affect your mid-range to high power. And you can adjust both without affecting the other. So we're very excited and appreciate Roger for sending out one of his kits to compare to everybody else in the dyno. The next kit that we got is from Terry at Thunder Products. I spent a lot of time on the phone with Terry. They have a lot of testing done with the 600, and they're using basically everything they found within the last year from the 600, and they're implementing them in the 858. Obviously still a work in process. They're working on tunes and everything just like the 600. But Terry from Thunder Products got us his kit, and what his kit, the full kit includes are his precision adjustable weights. He sent me these loaded, ready to rock and roll because he's already done a lot of testing and tuning, and he knows exactly kind of where the 858 shines and how much weight needs to be done. He also sent us a shim that goes in between the two secondary sheaves to essentially perfectly align your clutches to help gain more top end out of the engine. And then these are the actual shims for the weights. Not only did he send us the weights, the shim for the secondary, you got the primary spring, and the guys at Thunder Products use and sent me a Gates belt. So Terry explained to me that essentially the factory Articat belt is a little bit too long, and it prevents a lot of top end loss on the 600 and the 858. So he sent me a Gates belt that's a little bit shorter than the factory Articat belt, which helps with top end. Thunder Products. Then last but not least, Bill Moore. I'd like to thank Bill Moore from Stingray Mods. He was nice of us to send out a kit as well. And it looks like he preloaded it for me too, because he's been doing testing. So his weights are very unique as well. You can see how it has a very flat profile, which he swears by. Most weights are very rounded. His are pretty close to flat, which essentially allows you to have heavier weights and still reach peak RPM. So his weights are preset as well. Let's see here. He's got them preloaded for us for sea level. And then he sent us actually 2 different primary springs. So he said he's got a gold spring for a slightly higher engagement, and he's got a black spring for slightly lower engagement. He's actively working on a fix for the back shifting issues that some people have been having. And he actually messaged me the other day saying the testing's going very well, and he'll be coming out with that shortly. It will be a modification for the secondary. The weights are made of chromoly. They're CNC cut, hardened, and plated. And it's got Rhinex bushings, which is very, very strong. So his weights should last you a very long time. And he said that we should see big low to mid-range improvements. So very excited to test Stingray Mods clutch kit as well. Once again, thank you, Bill Moore.
Gage from Gage Racing here. I just wanted to give a shout out to Bronco at Hot Rod Sled Shop for donating a clutch kit that he had come up with and did a lot of field testing with. We're not expecting to throw it in there and see some serious horsepower gains, but we are expecting to do a few runs and kind of work some kinks out with what the sled really likes. Picked up 6 horse. We finally got our baseline runs in when it's out of break-in with stop clutching, stock everything, and we saw a 6 to 7 horsepower gain. We were expecting it to be a little more. I can definitely tell as the clutches get hotter, there is a lot of belt slip, which is actually a known problem these things have, and some binding issues in the secondary. But we're gonna hopefully figure that out and kind of work with some clutch kits.
So we got them all lined up. Thunder Products, Heel Clickers, Stingray Mods, SSI, and Hot Rod Sled Shop. We're gonna see what happens here.
Let's party.
First things first is Thunder Products clutching. They send you instruction kit with it. Catalyst ADAP clutch secondary remains the same. Black spring. Weights are set up how they sell the kit. Of course, every sled is a little bit different. Included are 6 spacers for the weights, and our RPM should be 7,950 to 8,050. And obviously call if we need help with anything. So as of right now, this shim is going to go in between the 2 secondary sheaves, which is supposed to help align them better, and evidently gain 2 miles per hour has been achieved by just adding this shim between the secondaries. So let's go ahead and get this kit installed and see what happens. So we got Thunder Products weights in right now. You remove the pin, you got both of their black shims on each side. Now we're going to install their clutch, spring, and then this shim actually goes in between the 2 sheaves of the secondary. Gates belt going in. 4 different runs. This is pre-break-in, This is 2 runs after break-in, and this is 1 run with Thunder Products clutching. As you can see, Thunder Products is the dark purple, and they are basically ahead of the game right out of the hole. But as soon as you hit 50 miles an hour, it kind of drops off a little bit below the stock clutching after break-in. So we're gonna try removing one of the washers to see if we can make it gain stock all the way through the pole. Yeah, bolt in apparently. I mean, we'll see. We might need.
When you're on and off the throttle, just trying to get beat in it, you could feel it struggling to come back up, like the back shift. It should roll very high.
Okay.
When it's out of its angle of the helix and it hits it, it's game on. But as soon as you're still in that shift, when it's in that second gear, it's like there's the run we just did.
The red one.
Now
look him up.
There's the power dip. There's that second gear, and then as we're taking weight out of the heel, it's kind of smoothing it out. Now we got to figure out this side.
He's got the 2 machine bolts that go into the actual heel front fly of the weight, and then into the back heel of it, he's got set screws that go in. So we're just removing a little weight, see if we can maintain our 8,000 RPMs and make those numbers go up a little bit. And then after this pull, we're going to move on to the next kit.
It didn't load the motor as hard.
So basically we went a little backwards there. So we would want to put the set screws back into the heel to get us right that to where we were. And then we would need some different shims or different machine screws for the actual tip of the weight to start gaining horsepower past the 50 mile per hour mark. But looks like right out of the hole, Thunder Products is smoking stock. So
I mean, we have a really good baseline of a ramp profile. The only thing is that we can't really work with helix and secondary spring because there is none.
Yep. So as of right now, out of the box, Thunder Products kit is basically what? Close to 10 horsepower over stock. So we're gonna be mid-range. Where are we? We're gonna do this. Dun dun dun, bear with us.
So you got break-ins blue, greens after break-in, Thunder Products clutch kit, the best run we had in the 3 runs we did.
So next is heel clickers. Once again, thank you, Roger. It looks like Roger wants us between 78 and 8,000 RPMs, and he said base weight for the 858 should be 71 grams. He wants his weights 83 to 84 grams. Looks like he's got a very unique weight profile. It's got the heel back here, and that's what's gonna adjust your out of the hole. Up here is gonna adjust your top end. So basically we are installing the heel clicker kit now. And when you have the heel clicker weight in, the actual heel of the weight will contact the spider. So there is a little bit of grinding of the spider required to clearance the heel of the heel clicker weight. As you can see, I started grinding it a little bit, so that way the heel of this doesn't contact the spider. Exactly the way they send the clutch kit is exactly the way we're gonna test it. So We're back to factory belt, factory shim.
We found that the more stuff we throw at these clutch kits, they really help in the beginning, but they can't hold the power on the big end.
So we're at 75, right at the 45 mile an hour mark. So max is 76.9. So we're right around 77 horse with the first pull, but it did over rev, so we add a little bit of weight, and typically when you add weight, you gain a little bit of horsepower. So let's see what happens with the second pull.
When you start messing around with tip weight, I mean, that's pretty crucial. That could really make or break it. The more tip weight that you could sling, the more power the engine's making.
Yeah, added one washer to each weight,
So about 3 grams.
just all under 3 grams total. Otherwise, the third run, we're going to be adding another washer.
Well, we used 78. Yeah, almost 78 horse on this one. I would probably, because it did come up a hair, it didn't really react much to 3 grams.
We're going to end up using up all the washers for the front of the arms. So it's going to be a total of 3 washers on the front of each weight. And that's going to be our third run. This is essentially our best run for heel clicker.
The bottom 3 are the 3 runs for a go.
Yeah, those are the 3 runs for heel clicker. So we got 76 and it was over revving a little bit. We got 77.7. It was over revving a little bit. And then we finally got the RPMs down with all the washers that he provided, and we're at 77.45. So right around 78 horsepower with heel clickers fully loaded with all the washers he gave us. So,
And again, we're really just putting in what they recommend, and we're giving each company 3 runs, which really isn't a lot, but it's kind of a baseline rather than a finished product.
yeah, basically what
There is definitely a lot more
you could get out.
in this setup that could be had. Same thing with the Thunder products.
But yeah, we're just trying to give basically right out of the box, follow their instructions, slap it into your sled. This is what you're gonna see. Obviously, if we played with them a little bit more, we could get a little bit more out of them. So Stingray Mods provided us with his unique weights, and he actually gave us 2 springs. We'll mess with them a little bit and do our 3 runs and see what we can get out of his setup. Stingray Mods is at 92 grams, where the stock weights are like 71. And we just did heel clickers and he wanted them at like 83, 84 grams. So this is like, it's 9 to 10 grams heavier than, you know, heel clickers, and we're 20 grams heavier than stock. So that flat profile is what allows you to get more weight and maintain peak RPM, I guess. So we're gonna put this to the test.
That flat portion of the weight there, the profile of it is going to be really aggressive, I would think, coming out of the gate. I'm curious to see what this is going to be like here.
They produce the most amount of horsepower at 45 miles per hour, but they drop off heavy, where stock kind of stays consistent. So
See, I see some pretty good potential in this one.
yeah, we gotta add weight. There's 4 spots in the weight to be able to add magnets. You got all the way in the tip and all the way in the heel. He had all the way in the tip full with 3 magnets. The second one down full with 3 magnets. So now we're just added one magnet to closer to the heel. There are 4 slots in Stingray Mods magnets, but it actually holds 4 magnets per slot, not 3. So we're going to take 2 out of the second one down. Can you see this here, TJ? So we're taking 2 out of the second one down and moving them to the heel. We got your 4 positions, 4 weights, 3 weights,
0,
no weights,
2.
2 weights. We actually gained a little more than a horsepower. The next 2 kits are SSI, which is Speed Shop Inc. or Black Diamond Extreme, and then yours is what?
Hot Rod Sled Shop.
Hot Rod Sled Shop. And both of those kits came with a secondary spring and a helix. So we're gonna see what those kits do right out of the box. Let's get this one out of here and we'll get SSI installed. So SSI kits, very similar to what we just did with the Stingray Mods. Weights, 4 spots in them. Each spot will take 4 weights. SSI recommended in per their instructions, 1 weight at the heel, 1 weight the next hole up, 1 weight the next hole up, no weight in the tip. SSI spring going in. The bolts are Loctited. Definitely want to use a torch to heat them up. The factory helix from Articat is a looks like 5649, and it looks like SSI went with a 62 48 1/4. So it looks like SSI's first hole peak of 78, 75.
Some one of the best horsepower is up curve, up top.
Besides
Besides stop. Everything else.
So what are you talking about for numbers? So as of right now, you know, second pull with SSI went from first pull was 78, 75, and second pull is 79, 72. So they're very need the horsepower, but you can really just you got to look at the graph to see the curve. Last run number 3, we started off with 1110. Now we're to the point where we're at 311. Looks like a little better, right?
Yeah, hair. It just
This a little less. Their instructions said 1110. So we're adding 1 more to the heel, and let's see what happens.
yeah. So we're gonna. In the beginning, it spiked almost 8,300.
Yeah.
Off the rip,
Yeah.
and then it flashed 83, and then it finished off at like 78.50. You want to say?
Yeah.
So we want to add a little bit of heel weight and see if that kind of calms down that belt slip.
So last but not least, we got Hot Rod Sled Shop's weight and magnet setup. Just like the others, it's got 4 spots to put magnets, and he's recommending to go 4 at the heel, 1, 3, 4 tip. We just noticed when installing them that both factory shims do not fit, so you would actually have to shave down your factory shims as of right now to be able to fit both of them.
That was a huge belt slip. but it slipped the belt real hard at the beginning. So now we're gonna add some weight towards the heel.
We were at 4, 1, 3, 4. Now we're gonna go 4, 4, 0, 4. So, pull number 2 for Hot Rod Sled Shop. If you look at the graph again, and it shows it ended up slipping again, even though we moved the weight around. Unfortunately, proves the theory it wasn't a freak accident, and we got something going on here. So, we're gonna try a different configuration for the third pull, and we'll see what happens. At this point, we moved the majority of the weight that was kind of in the tip, and we've moved it back towards the heel to try to get a better bite at the bottom end, but essentially the heel is all the way full. And at the end of the day, it looks like their max output was 78.8 horsepower, but coming out of the hole, we got some belt slippage, which in the real world you probably wouldn't feel because you got track spin on slippery snow. I hope you guys like this kind of footage. Like, comment, subscribe, share it to all your buddies. Yeah, obviously start messing with mapping and piping and all that jazz. We can, you know, variables are endless. But today we were coming to you with a straight up clutch kit shootout right out of the box, with the instructions that they come with, and these are the results.